Yeah.
Smooth transition.
Yeah, just getting it out. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
We're the casual ones. Welcome to our Thursday Dungeons and Dragons stream. If you haven't seen this before, you're like 15 episodes late. So catch up. Watch this one and then decide, I guess, if you want to catch up. I don't know. It's up to you. Live your own life.
Has it only been 15 episodes?
This is 16.
It
Wow.
does feel like it should be more, but all right.
Yeah.
Just, I
Don't
don't
think about it too hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel old.
But yeah, let's get right into it. So, recap from last episode. So you guys have been on the road traveling towards Core, and while on the way, you had discovered some hooded figures who seemed to be a little suspicious, and that suspicion was realized when our good friend Silas took an arrow to the chest and almost died immediately. After which a battle ensued, where Silas, through many a mistake, was captured by some kind of large frog-type creature and consumed.
First of all, he was hidden. Okay, he was hard to see.
Yeah, but everything after that too, also not good. Especially hypnotic pattern. Shout out to my boy Zelmuth.
Hey, man, sometimes you gotta do it.
It was successful.
Which part? The
his
capturing of Silas. Yeah, it was successful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hypnotic pattern worked
Hypnotic
on
pattern worked on
Silas.
the one person. Yes. And then
I figured if I helped, they'd just take me with them.
So from there was a chase that took place while the punch-drunk champions tried to recover their good friend Silas. And through some very good rolling and some crafty survival checks and speed from Lux, you guys were able to take down the creature and rescue Silas. During which, investigating some of the bodies that had been left behind that you had vanquished, although many did unfortunately escape, it was discovered that the person who was seemingly behind sending said monster it was potentially from the Summerward family themselves.
Tisk tisk.
Yeah. I was having an outer body moment in that episode. I feel like I was there, but not really.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lux did real well for some reason when you weren't in the body either.
That's just mean.
Those roles.
Yeah.
World of
I
Magic.
do believe that Zell had that letter, and I only told Silas.
Yes. You did not
Yes.
share with the whole group.
I feel like maybe we did talk about it a little bit.
Yes,
I think-
Silas did mention
I think
it.
I mentioned it shortly after, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, Silas mentioned it.
I
Sorry,
remember
yes.
talking just to Silas about it so that he could make the choice.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right.
And then you
did
guys-
mention it to everyone else.
Yeah, then you guys had continued on and had set up camp, knowing that you're going to be arriving at Core sometime the next day. And this is where we pick up. 'Tis morning. The sun rises. It's a nice, peaceful-looking day. The weather itself is a surprising warm for this time of year. But overall, there's not a cloud in the sky. The embers of your fire are still somewhat hot. And the day is yours. And if you haven't already, you can take your long rest.
Going
I'm
to
full.
for all 36 of my HP.
I'm gonna go up to Zelmet. See, I need to talk to you, mate. Privately.
Okay, sure. Step into my tent. It's very large.
I was thinking more like out there. And I'm just gonna point to the field.
Are you going to murder me, Lux?
No, I just.
Okay. And start walking.
Okay, I'm gonna cast alarm just around us once we get far enough away from the group.
Okay.
You're being
But,
very weird right now.
Because I have something to tell you. It's gonna put us in a bit of danger. And I just don't want the others to know. At least not yet. But this is gonna sound extremely strange, but I need you to believe me on this one, okay? So, and I'm going to speak Gnomish because I know he knows Gnomish, just to get some.
In Gnomish, I think you know I hate speaking this language.
Oh, well. All you have to do is just listen.
Oh, I hate this fucking.
I feel like I shouldn't listen. Like, this is a secret.
If you guys, hey, listen, if you guys want it for added bonus, If you guys want to take off your headphones,
know
take off
what?
your headphones.
Oh, I'm gonna take off.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Big
Yeah.
secrets
Give us
are
a
fun.
double thumbs up.
I'll,
when
I'll
it's-
double thumbs up when it's done. Yeah, go.
All right.
Respect, guys. Respect.
Um.
Now
So
it feels like a
after,
real secret all of a sudden.
so after yesterday, just thoughts kept traveling through my mind, and when that tornado took me, I thought at first I thought it was a dream, and it took me a long time to kind of come to the realization. Um, but I met. How do I put this? I was taken somewhere. I can't explain it. Just somewhere up there. And I'm gonna just like look into the sky.
Are you saying did you die? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't
I don't know what
die.
else is up there. That's why I was asking. I mean, you could have
Yeah.
gone down there.
No, it was definitely up there.
Well, you were in a tornado, so that makes much more sense. Sorry. Where did you go?
There was there's just islands up there. It's strange with these currents that attached to these islands. And I saw giant birds. I've never seen these types of birds flying up there. But anyway, focus. I'm just gonna like focus myself. I met a god when I was up there. I met Emus. And
Sorry, which one is Emus? You know how bad I am with names.
the one of luck.
Right, yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they cool?
I guess I didn't have that much time to talk to him about it. Anyway, he told me that us as a group have taken an unexpected path, something that he didn't predict,
Bit
and
of bad luck.
I don't know yet. He doesn't know yet.
Oh, that's not.
Not
A god doesn't know something. Is what you're saying.
no. So he told me that the gods are picking sides. He didn't really elaborate, and he said that he was going to help us, but I don't know. I don't know how to. I'm going to pull out a coin. He gave this to me as a way to communicate with him.
Can I look at the coin and just? I'm
Mhm.
gonna cast detect magic.
Yeah. Okay. So you cast detect magic, and it's like if you downloaded the contents of an entire library into your brain all at once. Like there's
Okay, that's
so
magical.
much shit in there.
Yes. What? You know what? Don't bring that out a lot. Don't show that a lot. That's
Yeah, gonna stuff it back in my pocket.
okay. I mean, I did believe you because you never really lied to me before. But then I did detect magic on that thing, and now I really, really believe you. Still got to deal with the whole dad thing, though.
Yeah,
But we'll,
it's
you know, gods is a close second for me.
yeah. I just want to warn you that that attack yesterday felt strange. It didn't just feel like there's something about this group that Silas's mom was in. I There are certain gods that don't like knowing that it's there, and I guess that's why we were chosen because we went into that stupid dome. I don't know. He just said that he that there are some gods out there that haven't made a choice on which side they've chosen, and it just things just felt weird, like some of our stuff disappearing. That if none of us took it, and nobody came into the tent, like that's weird. I don't know if it's related. I really don't know, but
Let me get this straight. Big tornado, you spoke to God.
Yes.
Um,
The
God, one
the
of the
god that
gods.
controls the elements actually was the one that put this goddamn tornado. Cat, Cackstar? Is that what is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Towards us
Cackstar.
specifically,
Yeah.
or just in general?
Did it felt? Didn't it feel strange that this we were going away from this tornado all perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden it just kind of deviated and
Okay. So what I'm getting at is that gods are sort of, picking a left or right side, and we've sort of proverbially sort of picked the side accidentally by going in that dome, or at least we've suddenly got the attention of gods, and that's not just as a general statement that doesn't feel like a good thing.
yeah, pretty much. I don't know, but another thing that gets me is that I had to agree for all of us
Agree to what exactly?
to be a part of this. It was either that or death, and I don't do well with die.
No, I mean I would have been fine if you like me and Zelmith. I would have been fine with that. I don't know how everyone else is going to feel. Like I'm still pretty pissed at you because, well, damn. But I didn't want you to die, so I understand. But the rest of them, you're you're not good at sharing secrets about yourself. But this one isn't just about you anymore. This is about the others. So at some point, you're going to have to tell them.
Yes, I wanted to tell them. I did want to, but at first I thought it was a dream. I mean, for Christ's sakes, who goes and meets a goddamn god just being flown through the air like with a tornado? It
I just
doesn't happen.
point at you. You do, Lux.
Oh, yeah.
You.
Okay. However, I want to keep it a secret from them until we get out of core, because I have a weird feeling that whatever happens in core, it's going to be we're going to find something out in core. I have a feeling. I don't know what it is.
Okay, I won't say anything, but if core seems important to the gods, then maybe they should be informed. And I start to walk away. I will not say anything, but you should tell them. That's my opinion. I have to go get ready. It'll take me 40 minutes.
And as he's walking away, I'm going to yell out, "Your father's going to find out. That's what I'm avoiding."
He probably already knows. I say quietly.
God damn it.
All right.
All right, that was fun.
Oh boy.
Is it right back to us?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you guys, I mean, you guys watched Lux and Zelmuth walk away, and I think one of you tried to catch some of it, but unfortunately, nothing really that could be heard at that distance with that roll.
Yeah.
And then you just see Zelmuth kind of walk back first, and then Lux follows, presumably.
A little wave.
Good morning, Grub.
Everything going good, huh?
I mean, as good as it can get, being less than a day's travel from the place I don't want to be at.
I feel that. From all three of you. Not a lot of hurry.
Yeah, I mean, there should maybe be a little haste for Silas, and I do understand circumstances got weird for a couple of days there, but yeah, it's not there's a reason why I was so far away before.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going back if it wasn't entirely, completely, unavoidably necessary.
I'm
But-
excited to see core.
Like, the city itself is beautiful, but
Yes. That's basically where it stops.
Let me break it down. It's going to be a lot of bad buildings, a lot of weird people, and a lot of danger, but not in a fun way. And then we're going to get bored and leave.
I hope you're right. I honestly hope you're right. God, that sounds great, Grub.
let's- I hope we just, walk in, rescue my mom, sign a few papers.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
See you
Talk
later.
to a few
Mhm.
people, shake a few hands, kiss a few
Off the
babies.
fighting pit.
Off to the
Maybe-
Monster
yeah.
Island.
Yeah, Charlie's got it. Maybe a fight pit if we got one.
After
So
business
you
is
got
taken care of.
kidnapped yesterday. Are we making sure you're not seen when we get into the city? We talked about making you
Yeah,
invisible.
and you can actually see that like Silas is in the process of like taking off his cape, folding it up, putting it into his bag, putting on just like a plain brown cloak.
Calm down, Grub. It's okay. It's just for a little bit.
It's just for now.
I was still gonna wear mine. You know, I'm trying a new look too, and I get on all fours and try and like change my body a little bit to look like. Oh, fuck! I shouldn't have started this.
Yeah. No, sorry, I really need to find out where this is going.
Yeah.
What do you?
Cat?
What do you
Yeah, are
going
you
all
trying to
fours
be a
try
cat,
to
a
look
dog?
Are you a medium-sized dog?
Fuck. All fours with the cape, kind of like walking around, and I'm kind of like trying to gesture with my shoulders to get you to guess,
Are you a monkey?
like a little centaur man.
You just your life looks, just laugh. What did you just?
No.
You're
Wait,
trying
no.
to be a
A
centaur.
little one.
Grub. No.
Because dwarves compromised is the thing. I can't.
Yes, no, I agree, but this is not. No, Grub.
There's
Not
no
a big one, like a
toy
little
centaur.
one.
I know I
No.
don't have a lot to say in your life, but I have to veto this one.
It's not passable. All I know is that they got 4 legs. So
Is it passable? DM, does it look good?
Let's get that performance
You know,
check, baby.
there's times in this game where rolling is required, and here is not one of them. No, it is not. No, it is not passable for him to put a cape over most of him and try to be a centaur man. Nay, nay. Nay, nay, I say.
Sorry. I can make you invisible if you'd like.
but not as a centaur then. Like just regular.
No, just regular grub.
But if it goes away, I gotta have a backup.
Well,
Have
I mean,
you ever
can be
been to
grub.
Core Grub?
No, I don't think so.
What if
Then-
what if we
then-
just got you a different dwarf costume? And then you just pick a different name, and then you just be a different dwarf.
It just seems so coincidental, you know.
But
No.
But you can still be grub.
nobody
Nobody
else
knows you as Grub.
Nope.
Well, grub, the last town that we were in is the last town before Core. So either you have a costume or you don't pay.
Someone said something about a halfling, but they never told me what the other half was. So I got some options and just kind of like put the mustache back on. So we can start
Perfect.
there,
That's
and
great.
then
We'll get you a big hat. That'll be the other half.
hatfling.
Hatling, yeah.
Hatfling. I misunderstood. That sounds fine.
All right. We'll find you a big
You-
hat when we get there.
All right.
Anyway.
Can somebody make a history check for me, or just a general intelligence check for me?
I'll make it. history check.
Just general intelligence, actually.
I don't think you're gonna get that from this group.
Yeah, if you allow more than one person to do it, I could also. do that.
Anybody who
17.
It's pretty
perfect.
good.
Silas,
Natural 20.
Zelmith, and Silas.
But more
You kind of lock eyes at the same time as you both come to a realization. Realization is this: there were 6 people and 1 monster who came for you yesterday. You took down 3 people and 1 monster, and 3 people saw all 5 of you, and then ran away towards Core.
Suppose
That's
that's
all.
bad.
Just so
You know,
just so as
we
you
don't-
knows.
Yeah.
We don't want to look like us. That's not.
I'm just saying.
Okay, quick run through so that we can eventually get to the city I don't want to be at. I'm going to cast invisibility on Silas because he can't do anything
Mhm.
except for fight.
Well,
And-
Well, fight
Jesus.
well, but
That's hurtful, but you know.
I mean,
And
sorry.
yourself.
I will disguise myself to look like someone else.
And Lux can do that, right?
Well, I can make 2 people invisible.
But Lux can.
Wait,
No, yes I can.
you're not going into the city as yourself?
Me? Do we want me to go into the city after we were seen?
I can't think of a good reason why.
I mean, in Williston, they know you were coming. I'm sure somebody in Core knows you were on the path.
We could leave the carriage outside the city and walk in. I'll buy another carriage.
I just gestured to all the work I did, putting mud all over it and scratching up
I
with a
know.
sword.
I know it looked really good, but people have seen the carriage and they associate with us with the carriage, so it might not be the greatest idea.
This is the only carriage on the road.
It's
You're
the
gonna
only
have
carriage.
a different carriage with different people, and we're still gonna.
I
get
don't know
caught?
if they all. I don't know if all carriages look like the same carriage. I don't know if it's like the Toyota Corolla of carriages.
I mean, like the
Honda
one you
Civic.
got, like where you got it from. I mean, like even just in Torrent itself, there were, you know, that person who was selling them had like 2 others that were identical. Like you didn't ask for like the custom paint job, spinning rims, nothing. You know what I mean? So this is pretty standard.
We could hypothetically just get away with like, oh, it's a carriage.
Yeah, you got a
All
Ford
right.
Focus, and there's more Ford Focuses on the road.
All right. No,
I believe it's
this Ford-
Foci.
Yes.
Fuck off.
Yes. This Ord Ocus
Hopefully
is definitely banged up enough. It looks like a 1997 Ord Ocus. So.
Okay. So
Especially with that busted door.
Charlie, you've been very talkative. I don't know what to do about you. You were still seen by this group, but I can't make you look like someone else or make you also invisible.
But you can look like someone else, and Lux can look like someone else,
Correct.
and I can look like someone else. If I get a hat.
Yes.
They're
Question.
also looking for 5 people. I could just not go in with you.
And do what? Just like go in separate?
Yeah. Tell me where to meet you.
I can also do that, but
I mean, they're not going to see 5 people because 2 people are going to be invisible.
Like,
We'll just wing it with Charlie. Everybody in the carriage.
Pitts.
Yeah.
In my time in Core, would I have it? Do I know another way into the city that's a bit more discreet?
So you would know for sure of 3 ways and then a potential 4th. So the 3 main ways that you know is there's the northern main gate, there's the southern main gate, and then there's the port, or like the harbor, which is on the east side of town, which is pretty close to where the actual Peacebreaker, like El Maison de Peacebreaker would be. What you would also know, and actually, Lux, make a history check for me.
Could I help him because I'm from Core?
In this case, actually, I would say no. Are you from Core? Yes, but would you know this? No.
No. God, I'd never be seen in places like that.
So, just due to some of the, some of the stuff that you've done in your past, you would know that there's a decent chance that if you really need to, there is a way to do some smuggling if you have the right amount of money to bring them in through the west side, where there's somewhat of a port and harbor, but it's definitely like the west end is like the shitty end of town. So you know
The west end.
Yes, yeah, because the east where Core is, and you can even see it on the map there. There's that eastern water area, and there's the west one. The west one just like goes to the mountains, and that's kind of it. The one in the east actually leads out to the ocean, which is why all of the nice side of Core is built towards that side, because with the somewhat budding like trade that's happening there on an international scale. They've been trying to build that up and make that more convenient for ships to access, so that Atholito isn't the only place that's receiving international import and export.
Okay. See, we can always go through the west. I might have a few friends still there.
We run as high a risk of getting our throat cuts as we enter that place as we do as making it through.
I mean,
Silas has a point. That way sounds more fun.
Yes, it certainly sounds more interesting.
Mm-hmm. More
Um,
likely for a fight pit. And look
How
at
much
Charlie.
would this run us, Lux? I've got some money, but I'm not literally made of money.
Let me roll a quick history check for you. I'll just use this roll. 5. Give me
5. At your best guess, like you've got like a good range in mind. You're thinking like anywhere between like 10 and maybe like 250. Like somewhere in that ballpark.
Per person or like
Per person. Between 10. What I'm saying is he doesn't really fucking know. His range is between 10 gold and 250.
yes.
Listen,
Well,
the last time I did this, I had to get somebody out, and it was way cheaper than get somebody in.
okay, let's just take a vote. Who wants to go in normally?
We need to try and regain
Wow.
any element of surprise.
If
That did
we're
not go the way he thought.
All right. Well, I
Like,
guess
why
we're
don't I
spending
just
some
be
money.
the one to go that way?
But you've still been associated with us.
Let's just disguise ourselves as much as we can, and go in the smuggle way, and then I'll pay for it, I guess. And then we'll figure it out, and then we'll have to get through the shitty part of town in a
Do
carriage.
love the notion of you, in a roundabout way, having your father paying for smuggling his own son back into town. It's sort
Done.
of delicious.
I
Let's do
redact
it.
my previous vote, and we're now doing that one. Everybody in the carriage.
And we can leave this thing just outside, if we're going into the water. I don't know how you
Is it a
get
gate, or are we going actually through a port?
So if you're trying to get on the West End has like a really crappy set of docks. So the water area, it's Magtona Basin. It's like where a lot of like sewage would get dumped. Like it's the not great water. It's Lake Ontario.
Tight.
Yeah, just so you guys know. So like on the other end, like where the Shimmerfield Bay is, that's the east end. It's all beautiful like ocean water and everything. And on the right or on the left, sorry, it's not great. There are docks that are there. Your issue is going to be you're gonna have to find, because none of you would know this really off the top of your head, especially because as you said, Lux, you got like somebody out. You don't know where like the meetup point is along that coast or like along that shoreline, right? So you're definitely not going to the main gate. Well, I mean, you can go to the main gate, but then you're just dealing with the main gate. You're assuming that it's somewhere along that like shoreline for the basin. That would be where you would potentially meet somebody and pay money.
It's up to the team. I mean,
Well-
3 of you can go through the main gate, and Charlie and I can go through the west.
That's
It could be
fine.
easier that way. Less people to smuggle in. to the city.
Silas, make a history check for me, please.
You bet.
I could just go in as myself, riding the carriage, have the 2 people invisible in the carriage, and then just talk my way in through the main gate, and the rest of you could figure it out. And I'll give you a bunch of money, Lux, if you'd like.
14,
then-
by the way.
14. I mean, you know a fair bit about the actual like trade routes and the import and the export just based off of what your family does. It's not too often that unless there's like a cart full of goods or something like that you'd be expecting to get heavily inspected. Zelmith, you would just kind of know this somewhat naturally as well. Like when you show up with a carriage, they might ask who's with you, but just because of the name that your weight brings, and honestly, even somewhat what your name would bring as well, Silas, like, you don't think that they're going to be like, absolutely no entry, show me your goods right off the hop.
No, and I get that. I think my concern is that they already know we're coming.
For sure.
But if we can occlude our arrival, so that we can gain back some level of surprise,
For sure.
because clearly, Father knows I'm close and wants me badly, and I'm disinclined to acquiesce to that request. Well,
And I mean, your mom's in that town potentially, right? So, arrival being declared is probably not good for her chances.
so if you think, Zelda, we can get in with the invisibility easily enough, then that's great. And if we can have the rest move through the west side, like, we should be okay as long as you're careful. Don't draw attention. Don't flash any money.
Who's bad at hiding?
Not me.
Oh, definitely me.
Okay.
Not the-
Well, if one of you doesn't feel like hiding, I can bring you with me. If not, then just the rich kids will go into the front.
But still looking different and invisible, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, I'm not an idiot all the time.
Good save.
I'll go either way. I think the scary side sounds very good.
Okay,
Yeah,
Grub
but-
is going scary side. With
Yeah, but Grub, the problem is you're going to be Grub.
No,
You don't have another
I don't have a
constitute
hat yet. Yeah, that's a good point. But you were
Just-
gonna make me invisible, so
Yeah, before we part
But you
ways,
ca-
you'll be invisible for an hour.
But you can't do anything after that. If we get in trouble, you can't attack. You can't do anything. You should just stay with him. Me and Charlie can handle this.
fine.
Don't worry, Grub. I'll see you again when we're inside core.
Maybe.
Because he'll
That's
be
reassuring.
Worst case,
I'll be
I'll have
invisible.
fun.
Yeah. All right, let's do it then.
Listen to the plan. Well, who's good at like rousing speeches and encouraging us? 'Cause
Why
This is-
do we have to have a speech?
I guess we're
We
splitting
just-
up.
it just
We
seems
just
we're
talked about
splitting
this.
up, and this is kind of dangerous. But
All right, everybody meet at my house before sunset. Ready? Hands in.
Where do you live?
Where? Yeah. Who's this?
You're going with Lux. He knows where I live. He'll
Okay.
tell you.
Okay.
Am I going? I'm going with Lux.
No.
No, you're going with Zelmoth.
Yes, you're
Okay.
coming with me, but I know where I live.
You know where you live.
All right,
All
punch drunk champions on 3. 1, 2, 3. Punch.
Punch
Punch
drunk
drunk
champions.
champions.
All right. Was that what you were hoping for,
We-
Stylus?
Not at all.
All right,
no, but
everybody in
I'm
the
glad you tried.
goddamn carriage.
So, Lux, at some point you're going to tell me where Zelmith lives, right? In case we get separated.
Trust me, it's the fucking almost one of the biggest houses in this goddamn city.
All right. Look for the big ugly house.
It's actually quite beautiful, actually, if you really look at it. But
Big
anyway, that's
ugly
just-
house.
Yes.
Not-
Locked
Just
in.
northeast of the city, Lakeside Hills. Big house, Peacebreaker Manor.
Yeah, my
Listen.
house is in the shadow somewhere around there. You'll see it.
We'll be going through the store's entrance.
I'll ask around.
We just gave you. All right, yes, correct. That's a good idea. Asking for directions is a good idea. I just really need everybody to get in the carriage.
All aboard!
All right. Yeah, so you guys all load up into the carriage again, and you start riding and making your way towards core. I would say at this point, probably about 3 or 4 hours pass before you can start seeing the actual walls of core off in the distance. For the few of you that live there, you would already have seen this, but the walls of core are massive. They're some like 90 feet tall, with like large battlements on top, and it really looks like. And this kind of stands out as a little odd to some of you, but it looks like walls made for a siege, of which for the last like 450 years, there's absolutely not really been one.
Okay. Stay prepared.
Good thing it's today.
Oh, you guys gonna? Yeah.
This is the
Nice,
siege.
nice.
They won't even know that it happens. But
The secret
Yeah.
siege.
Yes, the first great siege of the city of Core.
Yeah.
We're going to impregnate the shit out of core.
All right,
oh
that's
god,
fine. We found the line.
Charlie's
Didn't like that.
On the line.
Anyway.
We didn't even come on a ship.
Ugh.
I was like, come on, shit.
Doodle-oo-loo.
I just have one more thing. Seaman. Because
All right.
I'm
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, so you start getting to, you're starting to head make your way towards the actual city itself. You're probably getting close to the point where if people are getting off and are going to start heading westward, you probably want to do so soon so that the,
Yep.
guards don't see people just hop off the carriage and run into the field.
Okay. Silas, Grub, come here.
Yep.
You two, good luck. Don't die.
He's safe.
Lux. Race you there.
Fighting pit first. Find it.
No,
Find it.
I'll see you at the pit.
But
No,
we-
you'll see me at my house.
We gotta find it. You.
I cast invisibility on Grubin. Silas.
Okay.
As he says, you gotta find it.
I start yelling it just a little louder. Just
You don't have to
I'm
yell
trying
when you're
to like
invisible.
shush him,
Yeah.
but I can't. Yeah.
Um, and then I will cast disguise self to look like someone who someone who looks like driving the cart. I want to look like a driver.
All right. You look like a cabbie. I got you. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're able to do both without issue. Just mark down the spell slots.
Yes, I will do that.
All right, and then Lux and Charlie. So if you guys are both going to be making your way over to the basin and trying to find your way in, I'm going to need. I would take an investigation check or a perception check.
Mine's a 10.
I got a 14 on perception.
14 on perception. Yeah, you guys are kind of walking. Like you guys end up crossing the field, and you use what like kind of trees are left. A lot of the area leading up to core itself is just open fields. Any trees that have been there, they'd already kind of taken out and removed, just so you had that distance where you could see anybody potentially approaching. So where you get off, you make your way through some trees so you can make sure that you're not going to be seen by any of the soldiers. You eventually find your way. It takes probably about 15, 20 minutes of walking, but you make your way over to the shoreline. And as you're kind of taking a look and walking around, you come across a couple, you see some people out on the water that are fishing. And you notice, Charlie, that there's not really a ton of people like along the shore. All you see is two different gentlemen that seem to be having like rods cast into the water, because although the water itself seems to be pretty dirty, there do seem to be some freshwater fish in it. But they just kind of have rods, like propped up and are just laying on their back, kind of with like the hat over the face, potentially sleeping.
Get 'em.
You know where we're going, right?
I know the city quite well. I just don't know who we're supposed to talk to.
What?
It's been a while since I've done this. And I was good at getting people out of the city. It's just not great. I've just never done the getting people into the city.
Should I just go back to the main gate then and just risk it?
It's up to you, Charlie. I'm just going to storm forward.
Forward where? Sorry, where are you going? Lux?
To the docks?
Okay, you're just going to go to the docks? Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, maybe I didn't explain this too clearly. You can't get like into the docks, into the city from the west without like swimming. Like this isn't like the shoreline doesn't like the shoreline gets cut off by the city walls at one point.
Oh, okay.
On this side, the other side you can because there's an actual like manned gate where the harbor is, like the nice harbor. For the shitty area, it's more of just like you'd have to swim through the muck to get there.
How bad does the water look?
Yeah.
Uh,
So I know.
Chunky.
Again, like there's some things you need to roll for, and there's some that you don't. And this you've lived on Lake Ontario. I know you have. Yeah, it's not like that nice blue when you get out there. It's definitely that like dark,
brown.
mucky brown, and it's got a smell that just isn't quite right.
How long would the swim take, if I had to guess?
You would say probably just because of the distance of the wall. If you're swimming full speed, maybe like 15, 20 minutes.
I also gave you 20 platinum lux.
Okay.
Okay.
That's ground, baby.
So, yeah, well, no.
There's a fisherman.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I'm gonna go over to the gentlemen that are fishing.
You see just one kind of like, as you approach, like lifts the hat up and like opens one eye at you and, aye,
Hey, I'm looking to get into the city. A friend and I. Do you know a way to get in?
Oh no, we're upstanding citizens. We are. We don't. I wouldn't know of a way. You'd probably want to try the main gate.
Okay, it's a shame. I was willing to pay for such services.
Well,
But
hold up. Well, let's not be hasty. How much are you? How much you got?
well, it's been a while. What's the going rate now?
Oh well, that depends. How many people are you looking to try to move in?
It's 2.
2 people. It's 20 gold now. 20 gold when you get there. My brother's on the other end. You pay him when he brings you out.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure.
See if he's lying to me.
100%.
Damn it, that's a 7.
7. It's kind of hard to get a read on him.
Peaches is back, baby.
20 gold, you said? Now?
20 now, 20 when you get there. Like I said, my brother will pull you out. He'll get you in the city.
I'll give him 20 gold.
Aye. All right, listen. And you see he gets up and he walks into the water a little bit. And he reaches down into the water. And he says, "Come here. Come here."
Walk toward. I'm coming.
And he lifts up a rope. And you can see, like, he's lifting it a bit out of the water, but the rope actually continues, like, into the shoreline where he kind of just came from. And he says, "Listen, you hold this, you pull yourself along. It'll bring you into a tunnel to bring you up into the bottom of a house. My brother will be there waiting for you. He'll get you in, but this will get you underneath any of the guards. Won't see you coming."
Can I see this tunnel from here?
You make a perception check.
19.
19. You can't see the tunnel. You can tell, like, from where the rope is going. Like, the rope does go from what you can see. Like, there's a couple things. First of all, like, the rope itself does seem taut. Like, when he pulls it up, it doesn't, like, it's not like a ton of rope comes up. Like, it seems like he can only pull it up to a certain point before it start, like, the tension is just too much. But it does go towards the actual city, like, towards the city wall. Or, like, I guess where the docks would be, sorry, and, like, the opening where the wall is. But, yeah.
Okay. Fuck it. I'll go for it. I'll start pulling myself over there.
Okay.
Oh,
And as you start, he says, aye, listen. Go slow to start. Come up for air every once in a while if you need to. This runs pretty close to the floor of the lake. Once you get close to the walls, hold your breath and just pull slow. Don't work too hard at this, or else you're going to come up for the worst possible time.
I understand.
All right. Pleasure doing business. Oh, when you get in there, ask for Drafer. He's my brother.
Drafer.
Yeah,
Drafer.
yeah. He's gonna ask you for 20 gold, so make sure you got that on you too.
Yeah, not a problem.
Pleasure doing business. And you see, he just puts the hat back on the face, lays back down.
It's got a nice cushy job.
Okay, I'm gonna start going, but as I dug my head underneath the water,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn into some the generic white person as possible.
You'd be the human being.
He turns into Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Sorry, who?
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you start pulling your way along. Charlie, are you following?
I see the very murky water.
An inviting
And-
rope.
Yes. grab the rope and could have just gone through the front door.
All right. Yeah, so you both go underwater and start pulling your way along. It's pretty tough to see when you're opening your eyes down here. Like there is like that like really murky brown like filter almost like over your eyes. You know what I mean? But as you're pulling your way along, you are seeing that like every so often there's like almost like a croquet like stake that basically holds the rope down, but allows it to float up to a certain point, so that like it's not like just straight up underground or like getting covered by muck or anything like that. Which you kind of have to like reach your hands over every once in a while. Yeah, and you start kind of pulling your way along. A couple times. Well, let me get first an athletics check from both of you, please.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there now.
Yeah.
I still have exhaustion level 1.
Not good.
That is a 17 with disadvantage.
Dang.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I rolled a 10.
Rolled a 10. Okay.
Lex
Yeah.
needs to work on his cardio.
Yeah, so we're going to end up having to do a couple of these, but like this is going to dictate where you end up kind of needing to come up for air and how far along you can get. So Charlie, you for sure make it further. You make it about a third of the way there. Lux, you make it like a quarter of the way there. And you know, as you're kind of looking back to see where you came from, like presumably you both coming up like slowly, just getting like the nose above water, doing the quick look, not making a ton of ripples. You know, you can see the difference. Like Charlie obviously is a much more, no offense, athletic person in a lot of ways, just through her training. But you can see like you kind of eyeball the distance from like where you got to and then where you need to go. And Lux, you're like, this might be a little iffy. But yeah, let's have you both go back underwater. I'll get another athletics check from you, please.
I believe.
I believe too.
17.
Okay.
11.
11. Okay,
Not
so
bad.
you guys kind of meet back up. You guys are pretty close together now. What I will say is you're both seeing now that you kind of have a choice you can make. And each... Well, in the next section that you're going to go through, you have two choices. You can either try to make it the entire rest of the way, because you're starting to get somewhat close to the wall now. Or you can try to go up for air one more time before making like your final push. I need to know which one you want to do because it's going to change the DC depending on your options. One obviously has a higher risk of getting noticed. One has a higher risk of having to come up for air or drowning, depending on how you roll.
I'm going to do the safer option because I can't trust my rolls.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go for it.
I love it.
You're exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just fed up. So let's just go.
It's
Okay.
a different version of exhausted, but sure.
Perfect.
we
All right.
go.
So Lux, you're gonna go. Let's get Lux's first because that's gonna be more fun. Lux, let me get your roll.
That's such bullshit. If I could take a picture right now, it's a 12, but it's like on the line between 15 and 12. like anyway, 12.
With a 12? Okay. Yeah, with a 12, you're able to get you get fairly close to the wall itself, but you don't hear any alarms raised. You don't hear anybody saying anything. It all seems fine. And as you stop and go up for air, Charlie potentially runs underneath you. Charlie, if you can make your athletics check for me, please, to try to make it the rest of the way.
7.
Okay.
It's less than ideal, I feel.
So you're pulling your way along, and you're pulling and you're pulling, and you know you had an image in your mind of how far the wall was, effectively. And as you're pulling, like you start to panic a little bit because you're still not seeing the wall, and the lungs start to burn a little, and you're pulling, and you still don't see the wall, and now like it's painful, and it's burning, and you still don't see the wall.
Okay.
I need to know if you're going to try to go up for air or not. Because if not, then we're going to start having a different kind of experience. It's up to you if you're going to try to just keep going or not.
I will try and get some air first.
Okay. Then I need a stealth check from you, please.
Only lips break the surface.
It's a 9.
A 9.
Those with a +6.
You-
Disadvantage is rough, man.
Yeah. So, all right. So you kind of kick off the bottom, and you realize that you've just generated too much momentum out of this, and you come up.
Like
Right,
a
like-
dolphin at beach.
you don't come up, like, instead of your head softly coming out of the water, it's like your head up to your shoulders comes out, and like you bob out of the water for a second, right? And you can hear like the water dripping out like out of your hair and things, and you kind of sink yourself back down, and you look around, and you realize that the wall's really close. You kind of look up a little bit, and you can see the wall, and you can see guards, and it looks like the guards are looking directly down at you. And you see the one guard turns to the other. And they're saying something. Nothing that you can tell.
Okay.
Can I?
Can I not wait?
What do you want to do? Up to you.
I don't, I took my breath.
Yeah, you want to go down?
Yeah.
All right. Down you go. So go ahead and make your athletics check to make the rest of the way.
Oh boy.
Mine's a 15.
I rolled a natural 20 and an 18 for a 20.
Ooh.
All right.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
you give like the one heave as you go down, and you just glide your way to the rope, and then just hand over hand over hand over hand over hand, and like you speed your way through. Lux, as you had come up for air silently on your last breath before you're going to try to make it the rest of the way, you see Charlie come like up out of the water. And as you're sitting there just kind of hunkered down watching, you see these two guards that seemingly were looking down like right in her direction. And you see the one turn to the other. And you see her disappear. And you see the other guard turn. And they just seem to be talking. Somehow, some way, she wasn't noticed.
It's impossible.
They're just really bad
They
guards.
Did they roll a natural
they
one?
rolled so low. They rolled far under that stealth check.
Thank Christ.
So, Lux, as you go back down, I need to get the one last athletics check from you, please, as you pull yourself the rest of the way.
I already rolled. It was a 15.
15, perfect, no problem. You get down, and as you kind of saw that exchange, and you feel your heart settle down a little bit, you take your breath, you go back down, and you can just see like the tips of like Charlie's feet going through this tunnel as you're pulling your way through. And you guys pull yourselves into a rope that actually eventually goes up. It kind of like ties up and like through a rung and goes up through this tube, and you kind of come up in this like kind of weird dugout, almost well type situation, except the walls aren't super high. You're able to reach up, pull yourselves out, and you see there's just a guy just kind of sitting on a chair with a table in front of him. He's just kind of throwing a knife into the table and picks it up, throws the knife. And you see he looks up. He says, "I didn't know we were expecting anyone today. You new in the city?"
I'm just.
And now we are.
You got the 20 gold each? Sorry, 20 gold? 10 gold each. My math ain't great.
I'll give him 2 plat.
Aye.
Just gonna put it on the table.
Come upstairs with me. Just want to make sure the coast is clear before we get you in. You see,
Lux, can you do the thing?
Oh yeah. I'll cast precipitation. Fuck.
Got it.
Christ, this goddamn word.
90% of
I like
the
that
way there.
everyone was like,
yeah. Come on, say it, you bastard. Okay.
Prestidigitation.
Good old Prezi.
Prezi. To try to dry us off the best we can.
yeah, no problem.
Best I can.
As you're able to go through, you can get most of the water and the stank off you.
But it does resist magic and
Yeah,
that's
yeah, like it's in your
forever.
bones. But that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, once it gets into the pores of your skin, you're fucked. Yeah, but you follow the gentleman upstairs, and you see he kind of has like one of the sliders over, like a wooden slider over the door, and he slides it open, takes a look out, doesn't see anybody, closes that, opens the door, just a crack, opens it more, kind of walks out, looks up. Aye, all right, you're clear. Go. Welcome to Core.
Yeah, just scurry out the door.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers. You hear the door shut and latch behind you, and you are in the city of Core.
Somehow.
Some way, somehow. We're gonna make it all right, but not right now. Nickelback. Selmith,
wondering,
Grove,
man.
and Silas.
Yeah.
You guys are hanging out in a nice cozy carriage ride.
Yeah, I look like Keanu Reeves, but in a fantasy driver suit.
Okay.
So that's what I disguise
more
myself
frills.
as.
That's perfect. I
But
love
like Keanu Reeves, like in 1992 Dracula, right?
No,
Like
it's
the fast
Keanu
speed.
Reeves in Fantasy Speed.
it. Fantasy speed, right.
Fantasy
So you have the
speed.
short hair. Oh, it's like Keanu's
And it's
worst
Slow the
look.
carriage down.
It's a classic Keanu.
It's the worst look, man. God damn.
I mean, he had short hair in The Matrix.
You should have said the
Anyways.
Matrix then.
Yeah, but he's driving something, so it seems silly to do The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speed
only if you're
it.
flying. But yeah, I get it.
I guess Grub looks like Sandra Bullock or whatever.
You're invisible.
Yeah.
um,
Speed 2. She wasn't in
Yes,
that one.
yes. And Silas is Sandra Bullock's stunt double.
The ill-fitting wig, sitting very uncomfortably.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys, you kind of ride up to the main gate, and you see that they're not really doing checks or anything like that. They're just kind of waving people through. You see there's people in front of you that they do stop. They do seem to have like a wagon and a cart of goods. You see one of the guards kind of walks up. The guards themselves are wearing there's like the colors of red and brown, which are the colors Zelmith and Silas you would know for the city guard of Core. And you can see one just kind of hops into the back, pokes around a little bit, hops down and allows the wagon through. As you all approach, you see there's just kind of some curt nods and
Hold my breath. Yeah, same.
I can hear you holding your breath, idiots.
you hear crossbows fire. Yeah, and they just kind of wave you on through.
Like a glove.
Yep. So into the city of Core you go. You find yourselves in Upper Fane, which is, as you enter and kind of take a look around, you see it's sort of a suburban type area. You notice that right near the gate there are a few different structures that Silas and Zelmith you would know to be barracks, and Grub you would know to probably house a lot of people with pointy weapons. And then from what you see from there is just kind of a mishmash of mainly houses. There is kind of like the odd sign that you see for like an inn or a tavern on this end.
Beat a guy up around there once.
Yeah, but you this isn't your for both Silas and Zelmith. This isn't your normal area that you would spend a lot of your time or your coin. This is, as you would both know, the sort of middle class area. You know that the kind of lower middle to homeless, I guess, class of people would be in the West Yusok, which is where the where your two friends currently are. That's where the crime is, and that's where the murder happens, and all that good stuff. But that's not where you are. That's not where you're going. You're going to where the grass is green, the gardens are beautiful, and everybody has way too fucking much money. You're on your way to Lakeside.
That's right. This is whose line is it, anyways?
That's right. So
Where everyone's sneaking in and the guards don't matter. Let's go.
that's right.
We did it. I put out a hand invisibly to find Silas to give him like a fist movement.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yes.
Rub
We got
faces. All right.
We're just touching noses. Yeah.
You guys Eskimo kissing for this? Yay.
No, rubbing the visible face.
Oh, with your hand. I thought you said rubbing faces, so I'm just assuming there's two faces
Looking
rubbing.
for them.
Yay.
Good job.
So I guess suppose we didn't really think an awful lot about what we do once we get in.
We're
You
going
need it
to
in my
someone's
house.
house.
Just gonna go speak to your father directly then.
No, we're just gonna go to Zelma's house, and then they're gonna have the instructions to the fighting pit, and then we're gonna go there.
Sure. What I was really thinking is that we meet near my house.
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone really wants to hang out at my house. It's not really the hang spot, even though it looks like it from the outside. So I thought maybe I could pay for you guys to stay at the King's Bond or something like that, a tavern.
It's depending on like the walking distance, like we just like gotta
to
figure
the
out
fighting pit. Yes,
just the logistics. Yeah.
I get it.
Mhm.
I don't really know whether any taverns near the fighting pit, if I'm honest, because I've never really been to taverns near the fighting pit, if I'm honest.
Nah.
But if you want to stay in a very nice place, I'll pay for it.
We could certainly do worse.
You know what side I'm on, so
Yes, you're on the side of fighting pit.
yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Yes, as long as you get to fight.
And maybe like a hat store.
I could probably find you a hat in my house. Or I'll get someone to find you a hat at my house.
All right.
You'll have a hat before the fighting pit, I promise.
Do you think there might be an extra hat?
Sure, Silas.
It's hard. It's just hard to hide this hair underneath the hood.
Yep. No, it's fine. What kind of hat do you want, Silas?
I mean,
Grubb?
Just
whatever.
Like like as pointy as you can get.
You want
No,
it pointy?
no.
You want it flat at the top?
No, straight up point.
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
maybe something a little more wide brimmed, but
2 pointy hats coming up.
you got it. I need to get some money.
It's
Maybe I'll
really
just
nice.
rob my dad while I'm here.
Robbery's always an option. It works out
No!
one way or another.
Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's a 3-episode curveball.
We'll be doing a clippity cloppity to the old
Fire
manor.
sale.
Yeah.
All things must go.
Yeah. So you make your way over to the Peacebreaker Manor. Grub and Silas, presuming, Silas, you fucking know this town. Grub, if you're keeping an eye out the window as you're riding, you notice a very obvious change as you're making your way through the town. Like I said, this area is very suburban, but you turn a corner and you see the houses start to do this, in that they just start getting large and pretentious, and you start seeing like beautiful, luscious gardens that obviously people pay a fair amount of money for upkeep. You can see that there are beautiful flowering trees. You can see some just for show, some actually bearing things like fruit, and you can see people with baskets picking the fruit off these. There's these parks and gardens where you can see parents with their children walking around playing in the fields. The grass has no weeds. Every flower's in bloom. You can see people working on the gardens as you're passing by. Anything that's not supposed to be there or is not growing correctly is removed, like right away.
A lot of good spots in here, Silas. Good napping spots. You can make some good holes out there. Look at that. I'm just pointing at some of these like big rose bushes and stuff as we go by. Oh my goodness! Some of them
Did
got
spend
fruit
some time
trees right
hiding
above
in
them.
some of these as a child.
It'd be great. Oh my goodness! Dinner right outside.
It's, great is
Fancy.
not how I remember it.
Real fancy stuff.
It's nice here though. It's all just veneer, but yeah, not hard on the eyes.
Looks all right.
Yep. And as you make your way through, you eventually kind of turn a corner, and you start to see at this point that the houses that you're seeing, it would almost be more fair to call these like apartment buildings with like their size for what we would recognize today, because a lot of these buildings have towers that go higher than the 90-foot walls, because you're getting so close to that eastern exterior wall now that they have built them so high so they can see the ocean, because they want to be able to see over these walls. And like you just have like mind-blowing architecture. And as you start to roll up to Peacebreaker Manor, Zelmuth, would you like to explain your ancestral home?
Yes,
Is it
I
that
would.
one? Is it that one?
No, it's the one that's. See the shadow that's in?
Yeah.
It's the one making the shadow.
Just look crane up.
Yeah. Yes, you see like a. What's the best way to describe it? It's kind of got like a Hogwarts architecture kind of vibe, where it's kind of built up. It is kind of ostentatious to the point where it's almost as high as the king's tower would be, but not quite there, because you don't want to be
Respect, right? Yeah.
But it's got like beautiful architecture. It almost looks like a castle in and of itself. It has a weird mixture of like nice lines and beautiful gardens and perfectly cropped bushes in and of itself. But it also has like 12-foot walls, and a parapet where you could see guards walking along the walls, and you could see they're still beautiful, but you could definitely still see like not siege weapons, but like large crossbows. Ballistas. So
Yeah.
ballistas is the word I'm looking for. You could see a ballista or two at the corners of them. It's this weird combination of beautiful and
Functional.
functional. It was like subtle. This place has the vibe of like I'm incredibly beautiful and could look inviting, but like it's the same way a Venus flytrap looks beautiful. Like it's enticing but dangerous.
Yeah.
Like a threatening aura.
Yeah, and like the grounds that this manor is on are like twice the size of the home itself. You can see that this clearly has like its own stables that could easily fit your carriage, several more, plus like all the horses that would be required. The building itself is this beautiful stone that's mixed together with like this like wood trim around everything, and these like large beautiful oak doors at the front of it. You can see like huge windows. Like everything about this just is large and seemingly meant to impress.
Yes, and at the front you see a large, like stained glass window that is the most ostentatious thing you've ever seen. It's a purple rose with petals falling and a dove flying in the background. That is the symbol of the Peacebreakers.
Nice.
This symbol, at least in this city, is considered almost like a little beacon of hope. But Zelmuth, looking at it, all you can think of is bad memories.
That's fair. Are you going to bring the carriage in now, or are you going to wait for everybody else to arrive?
No, I'm not ready. I'm gonna wait for everyone to show up.
Okay. So you kind of pull off to the side near the house, sort of thing. Like you park down the road.
Yeah, in the direction I expect Lux to come in.
Okay.
It's,
Lux in
So
Zelmuth, are your guts doing the thing where they seem to roll around?
I really want to drink right now, Silas.
I got some if you want it.
I really appreciate it. You put that on lock until maybe about 2 hours from now.
All
Then
right.
I'll have a sip.
You just hear me like kind of getting up on top of the cart and keeping an eye out. You got a lot of space by your house, huh?
Yeah, it certainly sends a message, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna be inside, or no? We're not going inside. Are we going inside?
Well, I was gonna wait for the others and then ask who wants to go inside, because speaking to my father is like speaking to, well, a dangerous animal. You can't tell. At any moment it could bite back.
Are we looking to knife him?
I wouldn't even make that joke out loud this close to
I'm
a
invisible.
house.
That's,
And like you could tell Zelmuth is 100% serious. Like, don't say that out loud.
that's why I'm invisible.
Your voice is not invisible, Grub.
They can't see me
I mean,
talking.
actually, technically it is, but
So you don't want us to
I
knife
cast
him?
suggestion on Silas to make him do 1,000 push-ups.
ah,
I want you to
damn
be
it.
so unbelievably sore when you see your dad.
But I've got advantage on charm. Let's do it.
Yeah, I just wait for Lux in the gang.
Charlie and Lux. So you kind of, Lux, you know a base layout of the city. You've been around this area before, so it doesn't take you too long to navigate your way, thankfully, out of it. As you're walking, Charlie, you, in some ways, are reminded of your home.
Pretty similar to Atholito.
You see, there's a lot of beggars on the streets. You can see some pretty rundown like carts where there's people trying to do like little pop-up shops for crops and like trinkets and shitty goods. You can see some people who are just sort of like in like alleyways, coughing, obviously sick. No one's helping. This area, you can tell just from looking, Charlie, that people don't pay attention to this. This is the
Well,
part of the city they want to
The
forget.
first 6 people that I find who are easily helped
Yep.
health-wise, I will consume my key and give a hand
Okay.
of healing.
Yeah. So, you kind of go around and these people who are obviously malnourished, dehydrated, because you don't want to drink that water. They all thank you. But also you can tell that there's just this look in their eyes where they're just, you've helped them for now, but they know that like, this is their life. And like I said, no one deals with this side of town really. But you get many thanks. Someone offers to share like half of their apple with you that they've already eaten as a payment.
Oh no, that's okay.
Uh,
You enjoy that.
and they kind of bow their head and mutter a thank you very much. But before too long, you do make your way out of that area. And because of where you came in, Lux, you would know that the fastest way is to go right past the actual, like through central Coronac, which is where the castle for the king who lives here presides. As you're walking through, you see in the middle of this city, and you can see a wide berth given around it, is another very large structure. And as you can see in the distance, Lux, because you know what the Peacebreaker Manor looks like, you can see this building is gigantic. You know that it's home to the king itself. So you have King Siegfried Coronac is there, his wife Queen Renate Coronac, and then Princess Elisa Coronac lives there also. You can see that there's, in this area, they have some gardens that are there, but a lot of the area around here is just flat stone. Off to your right as you're walking through, you can see the bazaar itself. You see some of the markets, because getting closer to this way is where the actual open market is, which you would know all the trade goods that come in here are all just like the merchants that are traveling through. Generally tend to pop up a shop for a day or two before continuing on their way and trying to peddle their goods. But yeah, you walk through, and before too long, you're back to Lakeside Hills, which you remember, and you get a very odd, familiar sense of home. There's a mixture of comfort and anxiety that kind of arrives. But before too long, you catch up with Zelmuth, Grub, and Silas. But, you catch up with Zelmuth because you can see him. Yeah.
Shouldn't we have turned around? Wasn't that where he lives? I'm pointing to the castle.
No, that's the castle. This is his. I'm going to point to it. It's not the biggest in the city, but I think it's the second biggest, but I never really looked.
Oh,
It's quite massive. And I still don't think I've walked through all the halls, which is strange.
don't you live there?
Yeah, but live is a loose term. I help the peacebreakers, especially Zelmith. But as I get closer, I'm gonna change my appearance to Xander. Well, I do have my own entrance. Well, as I get closer to Zelmith,
Mm-hmm.
I do have my own entrance to where the others like me live.
Don't
You can
say
hide
it
out
like
in.
that. Ugh.
Well, I mean, we are different.
Anyway, not you and me. No.
You can hide in my room. I'll have to sneak you in a little bit, or you can find your own way for a bit.
Well,
until
I
we...
was just talking to our invisible friends, and I was thinking maybe you guys could stay at the King's Bond. It's a tavern on Lakeside, very nice. At least until we get this family stuff sorted out. That way you could take the carriage, I don't have to bring it in.
Didn't we talk about not going to normal places because of Silas's father trying to kill him?
Do you want to wait out here while I go figure this out then?
Why don't we just go back to the West End?
We can. Well, where's the Fight Club? So we can go there.
It's probably in the West End.
Yeah, but they went to find it. So
Who's they?
sorry, I was pointing.
Oh, sorry.
Charlie
You're invisible.
Charlie and their friend there went to find the club.
Lux never pointed it out to me. I'm sorry, Grub.
Yeah, see,
Give me like an hour and then we'll go there. Can you give me an hour?
You want us to find it during that hour?
No, I want you to wait for an hour.
Wait.
And then after an hour, if I have not come out yet, you can go look for it.
Wait here for an hour.
Please.
Okay.
Nope. Grub didn't say anything. I trust all of you, Grub. I'm gonna need a confirmation of a yes or no, please.
You see the pitter patter of feet going in the distance.
I drop invisibility.
no. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't run away.
No, I know. I don't.
I would have loved it though.
Plus,
yeah,
the invisibility is going to wear out in like 12 minutes. So if you don't want to be outside, and I still have to get you the rest of your costume.
Yeah, big hat, tall.
Yes,
you
big,
could
tall,
see
pointy hat.
weight moving down the side of the carriage. Hop off, slap on the ground. I'll scoot inside. All right. 1 hour.
I should have asked for more.
See
All
you
right.
in an hour.
I'll see you in an hour. Xander, you ready?
Ready as I will ever be.
All right. Let's go.
Good luck.
Yep. Good luck.
God, this is going to suck.
Don't die.
I honestly can't promise you that.
Good to know.
Well, okay. If you need us, just yell. I guess.
You'll hear my death rattle for sure.
That might be too late, but okay.
I'd offer to come with you, but I feel like having the Summer Ward standing with the Peacebreaker,
Yes.
not the subtlety we're aiming for.
Yes, my father will think a black hole will arrive in between us. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I put it off long enough. I sort of straighten myself out. It's been 2 weeks since he's had a drink. How do I look?
I see
Slap
a little
him across
speck
the
of
face.
dust.
Across the face.
Ow. I don't know if you know this, Charlie, but you hit pretty hard.
That was light.
What? I do the old Prezi to my outfit.
Yeah, you get all the wrinkles out. You get you get it smelling nice and nice and
Straighten
clean.
Straighten my
Chris.
posture just a little more.
Fix your hair a little.
Just,
I'm gonna run
remember-
into the. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, remember, in through the nose, out through the mouth, head over heart, heart over chest. Just straight back. You'll be fine.
Probably not, but thanks.
No, you might die, but
I'll see you guys in an hour.
I'm just gonna run into the cart real quick to change my clothes. So,
Oh no,
'cause they're all wet.
sorry, those aren't yours.
Grub, you know what? I'm just borrowing them for a minute. Luck said it's fine.
Okay.
You can ask Charlie about it. I'm just going to change quickly.
Just shoot her a look.
And, all right, let's get going. And I'm just going to push Zelmith up, up to
Yeah,
the door.
he's like, despite the posture and everything, he's just like being pushed every step of the way
Yeah.
until we get to the front gate, and he's like, okay. All right.
All right. As you take a deep breath and get ready to enter your home for the first time in probably several months at this point, knowing what happened at Williston, knowing the promises you made in Turin.
Promises.
You steel yourself and you walk into your home. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end it for tonight.
Good. I do need a week to try and unclench my butthole.
Oh goodness.
I've never been so like hesitant as both a player and a character to go anywhere. And like, yeah, I'm sitting here like clenching my whole body while we're in this city. I can only imagine how Silas is feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foreboding.
This is like the rich kid having to come home and speak to their evil father after spending too many benders.
Oh yeah, totally.
Spending money on hookers and blow. It's like, well, we've had to bill you 3 times now, and you know your allowance only covers 2.
Yeah. So we're going to have to see how that conversation goes. But yeah, we're the Casual Ones. We do stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you missed our Tuesday adventure, we are doing an adventure in space. So you can come take a look. It's a super fun time. And other than that, we'll be back on Thursday with another episode of our D&D stream. Thanks everybody for coming out. Have a fantastic evening, and we hope to see you again soon.
See you next time.
Bye everybody.
Bye, folks.
Bye everybody.
Someone save me.